This film is sponsored by New York Life and its dedicated agents, proud sponsors of NFL team highlight films. New York Life, the company you keep. A new era began for the Cincinnati Bengals last season when David Shula became the team's sixth coach and, at 33, the youngest head coach in the NFL. With a jut of a jaw that's remindful of both his heritage and fierce determination to succeed, Shula led the Bengals into their silver anniversary season and a new era for Cincinnati. Shula's coaching debut came in Seattle. It was a happy one, thanks in part to the long-distance running of number 28, Harold Green, who romped for 123 yards, including a bolt for 55. But the big story was Shula's aggressive, all-out defense, which sacked Seahawk quarterback 6 times. They were a greedy group, twice stripping Seattle of the ball, like number 50 James Francis does here. Both fumble recoveries were returned for long scores.
Go! Picked up by the Bengals. Go, they're going to take it. It's the Bengals football. Bentley at the midfield line. Ray Bentley is going to go all the way for the touchdown. A big hit on Thomas, and Ray Bentley takes it all the way downtown for the touchdown. Surveying that Bengal defense, being rushed, really rushed, hit from behind, fumble, a loose football, and it is still rolling around. Fernandez Vincent picks it up and will take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Wow. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Vincent runs down the tunnel and out the building.
The decisive 21-3 opening day win earned David Shula an on-field shower and the game ball from his players. The rookie coach dedicated his first victory to the memory of his mother, who passed away last year. The next Sunday was the Bengals' home opener on a bright, beautiful September afternoon at Riverfront Stadium.
Step to him, baby, right now. Let's go. Tell the boy what you got, baby. Every play all day. Everything happens up front. Everything happens up front. Gotta have the front. 1, 2, 3, win.
Again, the Bengal defense dominated, stopping the Raiders' running game in its tracks and stripping the ball away on a touchdown-saving turnover. In this game, Shula unveiled a pet project, his hammer attack, with a trio of backs pounding the ball for nearly 200 yards on the ground.
The 15 to the 10, he gets by a lot. Touchdown Bengals. Harold Green explodes at the line of scrimmage, outruns the secondary, and he was gone.
Harold Green, Derek Fenner, and number 42 Eric Ball each scored touchdowns against the Pride and Poise boys, with balls coming on a gutsy 4th down gamble, aided by superb blocking from the offensive line.
He was still far inside. I just didn't want to post and twist him. I wanted to drive him. And he jumped outside so quick, I just wheeled and tried to get in front of him. And then you drove your guy inside, holding him right up right there.
Despite this, the game went into sudden death overtime.
And Lee moves forward and puts that left leg into it. A very high, deep end over end kick. And here's Laird at his own 5. Land at the 10 to the 15. And
Get on it!
Loose
Get on it!
And the Bengals got it!
Woo! Wow!
The Raiders fumble the kick, and the Bengals have it.
Big recovery.
Its special teams had given Cincinnati a chance at victory. Now, its special teams put the game away for good.
Let's see if the breacher can end this thing. It's tied 21 apiece.
Johnson will hold. The ball is snapped, placed down and booted. It's high enough.
Yep.
It's deep enough. It's good.
See ya.
That's it. It's all over. In overtime, the Bengals have gone to 2-0 with a 24-21 win over the Los Angeles Raiders.
The dramatic overtime win branded Shula's Bengals the early surprise team of the league. Unfortunately, the Raider game would prove to be the high point of the entire season.
A fumble on a kickoff recovered by the Bengals, and Jim Breach sending the Bengals off to Green Bay at 2-0 on the 1992 season.
In Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Bengals began their quest for a third straight win with a not-so-perfect spiral to wide-open Eric Ball. But the play of the day was pulled off by rookie receiver Carl Pickens, number 80.
Back goes Pickens all the way to his 5, and now tries the jitter step to the near side. Now he cuts to the far side. He's still on his feet, cuts back to the near side. He's got running room if he can break free, and he does. He's at the 20, at the 25, at the 30.
Go, Carl.
Go all the way.
Go, Carl.
Pickens at the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Wow.
Cincinnati.
Wow.
He broke a couple of tackles back there about the 20-yard line before he reversed his field, showing what size he has on that play, that he can hold up and make a couple of guys miss. Man, it was just a great effort.
Cincinnati again showed plenty of fire on defense, racking up 6 sacks for the second game in 3 weeks. Despite the 2-touchdown lead and the beating the Bengals dealt to a pair of Packer quarterbacks, young Brett Favre picked himself off the turf and delivered a sudden, shocking defeat to previously unbeaten Cincinnati.
Wide open, caught, touchdown, Green Bay with 13 seconds to go.
The crushing loss with just 13 ticks remaining had a deleterious effect on the Bengals and sent the team on a 5-game downward spiral. During that painful stretch, the offense was the main culprit. The best evidence occurred on a Monday night in Three Rivers Stadium, where the Steeler defense dealt a shutout. It was the first time Cincinnati was held scoreless in 12 years. The Bengals' performance was disappointing not only to David Shula, but their rabid following of fans who didn't hesitate to let them know it. With the team losers of 5 straight and an offense that seemingly was going nowhere, the season appeared to be slipping away.
It'll be a wild day today. Real wild.
Here we go, this guy.
Wail on him, but no penalty. Let's get these blocks. He goes first. Now remember,
Everybody get
right wing goes first. We come in behind him. Let's go.
Cincinnati's comeback came against Cleveland. A vicious pass rush produced 4 sacks, but it was a valiant goal line stand that saved the game.
9 seconds to go. The Browns will go for it. Tomczak under center takes. Hands to Mack. Mack to the goal line.
No.
He has been stopped.
No.
He did not get in the end zone.
What a momentum boost this is. Let's go all day. Look at this. Fire it up.
The offense was resurrected with 3 touchdown passes, including one to number 48 rookie tight end Craig Thompson, as the Bengals beat their arch rivals and snapped their long losing streak 30-10. Next was a trip to Chicago for a Monday night visit to the Windy City. A nationwide audience saw the Bears take a 21-7 advantage, then watched Cincinnati erase the large lead.
Throw goes far sideline. Ball's got it. 30-yard line inside the 30 at the 10.
Go.
Still on his feet at the 5. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Great second effort by Ball. Gobbling it up at the 31 and taking it the rest of the way. And suddenly the Bengals are within 8.
With time running out and only a single down left, Boomer Esiason and Carl Pickens teamed for the tying touchdown.
They're trying it here on 4th down. This for the ball game. Esiason looking, throwing into the end zone and tipped to the end. Caught!
He got it!
Carl Pickens has caught it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Unbelievable. Carl Pickens pulls it out of nowhere.
With 59 seconds to go, the rookie from Tennessee.
In overtime once again, it was up to the master.
8 field goals in overtime to win games. Here's the snap. Placement made. Kick sails to the upright. And it is good. The Cincinnati Bengals have defeated the Chicago Bears 31-28.
Hey, win or lose, was this a great football game?
Unfortunately for Bengal fans, after the thriller in Chicago, the offense went south. Cincinnati's defense continued to keep games close. The team lost to the Jets by 3, then the Lions by 6 when the defense scored the team's only touchdown.
Oh, looking, hit as he threw. Intercepted by Francis. He has wide open field in front of him. James Francis will go in for the score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Wow. He's been the Bengals' only offense today.
Boy, has he ever. He's been the defense, the offense.
After the Lion loss, David Shula made a far-reaching decision, and the baton was passed from the boomer to David Klingler. The rookie made his NFL debut against Pittsburgh and was handed a life lesson with 10 sacks, tying a team record. The 21-9 loss to the Steelers was just one in a second string of 5 consecutive defeats the team suffered in 1992. It ended in the season's next-to-last game against New England. Harold Green ran wild, gaining 190 yards, the second highest single-game total in Bengal history. What's more, he exceeded the coveted 1,000-yard mark by a wide margin.
Hands to Green, cuts to the near side of the 5, goes to the goal line and goes in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And Green with the spike.
The win over the Patriots was important, for it gave David Klingler a first taste of victory as a starting quarterback. By far, the most important and dramatic decision made by David Shula in his first season as head coach involved the change in quarterbacks. It marked the end of one era, the start of another, with David Klingler assuming the spot at football's top position. The rookie has enormous potential, and during the final 5 games, his strong right arm was evident when he had time to throw the ball. Klingler wasn't sensational, but he did gain valuable playing time.
Klingler back to throw. Looking downfield, pretty good protection, throwing downfield,
Yes.
caught by Holman, touchdown, Cincinnati.
First NFL TD for Klingler.
Klingler up on first down, off the play-action fake. Klingler looks, sets up, throws deep, right outfield. Query is open, he's got it at the 40, and he will go all the way for the touchdown. Wow. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 83-yard touchdown play from David Klingler to Jeff Query, and the Bengals with lightning.
Number 15 was one of a pair of first-round picks. The other, number 31, safety Darrell Williams, came in a draft day treasure trove that saw the team's top 6 picks contribute heavily. No one contributed more than Williams, whose heavy hitting and sure tackling made number 31 a number opponents learned to fear.
Nagel being rushed by Stubbs. He rolls to the near side. Now throws back over the middle, and it's ticked off. It is by Darrell Williams.
The former Miami Hurricane led the team in interceptions and pass deflections and appears on track to becoming a Pro Bowl player. The newcomer who brought the biggest smile to Shula's face was second-round choice Carl Pickens, number 80. Another in a long line of fleet receivers from Tennessee, Pickens was called the finest athlete he had ever coached by his college coach, Johnny Majors. He knows how to use his height to outjump defenders and his considerable speed to make the big play. He broke a pair of punt returns last season, including one for a club record 95 yards against Green Bay, and one that was called back against Houston. Cincinnati's third-round choice was Leonard Wheeler, number 37, who came on late in the season to win a starting job at cornerback. Wheeler is another of the team's 6-man brat pack from a draft class that bodes well for the Bengals' future. When veteran linebacker Ray Bentley tore knee ligaments in the season's second game, fourth-round draft pick Ricardo McDonald stepped in and stood out with his quick feet and heads-up play at inside linebacker. McDonald was just one of a league-high dozen rookies to make the squad. Another was fifth-round tight end Craig Thompson, number 48, who showed exceptional pass-catching ability in his first season in the pros. Another youngster of considerable promise is 6'5" Reggie Rembert, number 88, who had the habit of making the tough catch. Another receiver who finished fast was Jeff Query.
Hollis looking deep, throwing deep, into the end zone. Oh! Touchdown! Cincinnati!
Jeff Query!
Jeff Query, with his flowing locks, added dash to the Bengal attack. And while Query, Reggie Rembert, and Carl Pickens provide youth at wide receiver, veteran Tim McGee provides time-tested experience.
Sias into throw, throws deep, into the end zone for McGee, touchdown, Cincinnati. McGee's second of the game.
But on the Bengals' firmament, the brightest star by far was number 28 Pro Bowl running back Harold Green.
The hand to Green, breaking to the outside and into the clear.
He's going to go all the way.
Harold Green over the 40.
Oh.
Harold Green, Carolina Lightning.
Cat quick and smooth striding, Green rushed for 1,170 yards. Second to his hero and predecessor James Brooks for best in Bengal history. With his weight up to 220 pounds, Green fit perfectly with his new coach's concept of power running, a hammer attack, with Green and Derek Fenner pounding the ball and breaking tackles.
Left side over the 30 at the 25 at the 20, at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Cincinnati. Pitch to Fenner to the near side, inside the 20, big hole into the 10, still in his
Get in there.
5, touchdown, Cincinnati.
Wow.
What made the ground game go was an offensive line that mixed number 63, 8-year veteran Joe Walter, and number 64, 9-year pro Bruce Kozerski, with a brace of talented youngsters.
You won't give up the sack, I know you won't. You're all right, man. You got some good people working around you.
The good people were number 65, second-year center Mike Arthur, number 77, rookie Kevin Sargent, number 60, guard Mike Withacombe, and number 76, tackle Kirk Scrafford. Then there's number 78, perennial All-Pro Anthony Munoz, who retired at season's end. Whether run blocking or pass protecting, many feel Munoz is the greatest offensive lineman ever to play the game.
Boomer looking, throwing, underneath, Fenner has it at the 4, touchdown, Cincinnati.
Another longtime Bengal is place kicker Jim Breach in his 13th season. Last year, Shula and special teams coach Marv Braden saw Breach win his 10th overtime game, more than any kicker in NFL history. The man they called Mr. Clutch had an NFL record scoring streak of 186 games. Defensively, the club made measurable improvement under David Shula and defensive coordinator Ron Lynn, who unleashed an aggressive, all-out pass rush that more than doubled the total of the previous year and came within a single sack of the Bengals' team record. The team's newfound sack success was partly attributable to Shula's hiring of highly sought-after defensive line coach Bob Karmelowitz from the Miami Hurricanes.
But if we run it to the right side, you got to think contain if you don't get clean.
okay? But it should happen. If they turn in the tackle, we should be able to pin him and contain him from the big. So the next time we go to dime, we're going to go tough wide, okay? We'll give the tough wide a try.
In the Bengals' 3-4 scheme, number 99, Alonzo Mitz, started at one end, while 1991 second-round draft pick Lamar Rogers, number 79, started at the other. The man in the middle was number 69, Tim Krumrie, the oldest defensive player on the Bengals roster. After a decade in the NFL, the veteran nose tackle played as well as ever, leading the team in tackles for the 5th time in 8 years. A serious knee injury to linebacker Kevin Walker was the impetus for the acquisition of fiery ex-giant Gary Reasons.
Come on, team, there's more turnovers. Let's go. We got to get in this.
We need 3 turnovers. We need 3 more.
We need turnovers to get in this game, guys.
Number 52 supplied much-needed leadership and big game experience to the young defense. Third-year star James Big Cat Francis is a number 1 draft pick who continues to get better at outside linebacker. His spectacular performance against Detroit earned him honors as AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Great athletic move by James Francis right there. And the big cat,
He's got 3 quarterback sacks, 2 interceptions. He's forced 2 fumbles, recovered 2 fumbles. That's what they want out of Big Cat.
Cincinnati's getting what it wants out of Alfred Williams, a man with 2 positions, outside backer and speed-rushing defensive end. Williams teamed with Daniel Stubbs to pour in on passes from the blind side. Their partnership was productive. Williams led the team with 10 sacks. Stubbs followed right behind with 9. Williams, in his second season, has incredible quickness for a man who measures 6'6", 240 pounds.
What a day, what a day. They say it's cold out here. It ain't cold, is it, man? Feel warm, feel good. Another day at the office, Bus. No. Somebody's got to get paid. So why not go do the job, huh?
David Fulcher almost always does his job. Though his season was shortened by injury, the all-pro strong safety still had 3 thefts and finished 4th on the team in tackles. Many of the bell-ringing, ball-dropping variety. In fact, all members of the Cincinnati secondary were hard hitters, as Eric Thomas and Barney Bussey demonstrate here. In football, as in life, time passes from one generation to another. For the Bengals in 1992, it was time to say goodbye to one of the greatest players to ever wear the tiger stripes. The retirement of Anthony Munoz and the ascension of David Klingler at quarterback signifies a substantial changing of the guard. Next year, a familiar Bengal hero returns to hasten Klingler's progress, and Mike Polk becomes offensive coordinator. With young coach David Shula, they represent a new era dawning for the Cincinnati Bengals.